Welcome to Three Questions, brought to you by the Washington State 18th Legislative District. I'm your host, Wil Fuentes. Folks, there's a lot of dumb shit rolling down from Washington, D.C., which has an impact on Washington State and at the local level. On this show, we bring people on who will understand the issues and the topics that are impacting our community members. Today, we have LaDonna Kirkpatrick, the chair of the Washington State Democrats' 18th Legislative District. LaDonna, welcome to the show. It's so great to see you again.
You too.
I have a question for you. Question number one. Now, awful things are happening at every level of government, right? Federal level, state level, and here at the local level as well. There was an unfortunate event recently about a man who was being detained by ICE and was run over by their SUV, picked up, thrown into their SUV, and driven to Tacoma to a detention center before getting some medical help. Tell me, what can we do? What can Democrats do to ensure that shit like this does not happen?
So the Democrats are really against this. It's against the DHS policy, and they're just breaking all the rules. So it's important to get Democrats elected, and the most important thing you can do is actually stand up and get involved. Because if you stay silent, you're not helping the situation.
Right.
You're a part of it. So get involved. We can find any way at any local level to get you involved, whether you can put some messages online, make phone calls, or get out and door knock. I mean, there's so many opportunities to help and get Democrats elected so we can stop these things from happening, because that's the only way it's going to happen.
Absolutely. The awareness needs to be there. People need to be engaged. Next year, 2026 midterms, we need a blue wave to hold the current administration accountable.
Exactly. And I have been working really hard to find the right candidates that will do that work for us and fight for us and our voices and put a stop to this. So we're working really hard to do that, and we need help. It doesn't just happen by magic.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everybody needs to get involved. Everybody needs to be part of the process. We need to hold this administration accountable to make sure that this doesn't continue. Right?
Exactly.
So
it was horrifying.
Yeah, it really was. I think a lot of us saw the video. In my mind, I still hear, the cries of pain.
So do I.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. It was so
Right.
horrific. Like it just keeps replaying in my
Right.
mind over and over again. And there's so many points in history where we saw this kind of thing, or we studied about it, but actually seeing it in real person in today's, America, and after everything we've learned, I can't understand why more people are not speaking out against this and being horrified.
Right. The cruelty of this administration needs to stop.
It does.
And the way we're going to do it is by?
Getting Democrats elected.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's going to take everybody. It's going to take an army to make this happen. Whether it's just talking to your neighbors, talking to people at grocery stores, anything. Just get the vote out. Vote. We historically have a pretty low voter turnout, and we need to get that up from Democrats in our Clark County and all over the state and the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get the majority in the House next year.
Exactly.
Go. All right, question number 2. LaDonna, you're a very passionate advocate. I've known you for a while, and I want to understand what got you involved. What inspires you every day when you wake up in the morning?
Well, this is a really good question. What actually really pushed me to get involved was something I started doing by myself during the COVID pandemic, and when all the kids started going back to school. The high school that my kids went to were being protested and having those protests, those anti-mask protests at Skyview, and my kids went there, and believe it or not, one of them called my daughter a slut.
Oh, wow.
And Mama Bear came out. I got
Absolutely.
really mad, and so I love that school. I love the principal. I've worked with him with my other kids, so I went out by myself, thinking I didn't know if anybody was going to be there, and I started an anti-protest to their protest. And there was other people that showed up, and a whole bunch of students came out and took over, and we let them. But then I started going to the school board every month, and I started giving speeches based off what those the extremists were doing to the school board and saying, to counter it, to try to bring reason to the argument. And then I got pulled into the LD. I had Terry Niles come and pull me in and introduce me to.
And the LD is?
The Legislative District.
Legislative District, yes.
And she sent me to the 18th, and they made me a state committee person right away.
Oh, wow.
And it was overwhelming, and I got to represent the 18th at the state level for the state party. And then I realized that the Democrats had nothing about foster kids on their platform.
Oh, okay.
And as being a foster kid myself, growing up and emancipating, I took that very personally.
Absolutely.
And I wrote a resolution, and I started the process of getting that added onto our platform. And it was at the last convention in 22. And then it got picked up by Annette Cleveland, and a bill, the Foster Care Bill of Rights, was written, and it made it all the way to the governor's desk. But unfortunately, because of the funding it needed, it got vetoed. But once we're out of our crisis, we are going to be bringing that back.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So, I mean, it sounds like one of these two very deeply personal experience for you really motivated you to go out there and affect change.
Yeah, really. I mean, I was a nobody, and I just got mad, and I went out there and I did it, and I, just stood up to him because that's what my heart told me to
Absolutely.
do, and my morals and the morals I was raised with, and so I did it, and I ended up getting a bill with Annette Cleveland. We got it passed and all the way through, and I advocated for it. And it was really surreal to see that just one person can do that.
Absolutely.
So,
I think what's incredible is that even though it was a deeply personal experience for you, that other people, you give other people a voice.
Yes,
right?
I try to.
Because you're not, the only one that went through that experience of being raised in foster homes. There's a lot of people that were raised in foster homes, and they also need a voice, right?
They absolutely do. They have the worst outcomes out of any group. If you divide all the groups by race and everything, foster kids generally have the worst outcomes, especially the ones that emancipate. They end up homeless. They end up pregnant. There is a pregnancy crisis with underage girls coming out of the system.
Really?
And I was one of them.
Wow.
I was pregnant by the time I was 17. And they end up in prison or repeating the cycle, and people need to advocate them. And the government likes to say, oh, we have all these programs for foster kids. But the problem is they don't have stepping stones for them to actually take advantage of them.
So what happens that when they age out from the foster
they're on their
care
own
system after 18?
They don't have safety nets.
Wow.
Most of them don't have safety nets, and they are on their own. And there's like grants for them to go to college, but when they're homeless,
right,
or when they can't afford rent and they have to work like 2 or 3 jobs to survive, how are they going to take advantage of going to school? And those windows are short. They're not open forever. Right. I mean, they close at a certain time. So we got to do better about, setting them up for success and making it where they can take advantage of those programs. Because right now I feel like they're designed like that on purpose.
Right. And these are critical issues that a lot of us are not aware of. So thank you for advocating for a vulnerable population that needs attention, that needs care, and needs to be supported.
Absolutely.
So thank you for doing that. Question number 3. LaDonna, what if you don't agree with the party or parts of its platform or policy decision making? What options do you have to affect change?
You only have one option, and that's to get involved. There's many different ways to get involved, but the best way is to get involved with your LD. Start going to their meetings, start going to their social events. There's usually always an elected person at one of their socials. And start having conversations. I mean, I was a nobody, and I got the Democratic Party had no recognition for foster kids on their platform, none. And now it's all over their platform, and a bill was taken through the system and all the way to the governor's desk. Get involved the only way possible. You're tired of seeing, everything that's happening. Get involved. We need help. It takes an army to make the change.
So what I'm hearing is, if you want to affect change, if you want policies that benefit the community, you just get involved.
Yes.
That's pretty simple, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, I like it.
And it's super simple.
And who can do it? Who can do it?
Anybody
can do it.
And
You mean young people, middle-aged people, older folk, everybody can do it.
Yes, we want young people. I think young people's voices need to be heard
Absolutely.
the most right now.
Yeah.
And I'm always encouraging young people. Like in my LD, I'm one of the youngest people. I'm a millennial, but I want to see younger people, like younger millennials and Gen Z, get involved. Come to the conversation.
Yeah.
And be a voice, and I will uplift your voices all the way through as high as I can, because that's what I love doing. I'm kind of a pester. You know, everybody tells me I should have been a lobbyist recently.
Oh, you still can.
I don't
You
know
still
about that.
But that's great. So, very simple, folks. Just get involved, get engaged. It doesn't matter what your background is. If you care about your community, if you care about affecting change, just get involved.
Get involved.
And this is our show for today. Let us know in the comments below of anybody you'd like to have on the show. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell. We'll see you next time.